Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means of course some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further, because you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that and you'll find all the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. And as a reminder, we did a couple of weeks ago now add in a category specifically for archetypes, because I know that people were saying that they weren't really sure what category it fit under our previous system, and yeah, it didn't really have anything that fit all nice and neatly. So that now exists, and I also just today gave it a new icon, a new image, so it is no longer using the same image as, what was it, Titan Stars, I think? Which I hadn't even realized at the time until someone said it last week. So now it should be a little clearer. Let's hop into versus mode. And let me know if there's anyone who would like to get us started today, and then I'll also hop into Discord myself. There we go. Okay. Do I have Steam friends up? I do. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I am ready to go. Let me know if anyone is interested in getting us started, or if there is anything we'd like to do setup-wise for our first match here. Yeah, I updated the image for the archetypes, which, as I said, I wanted to get an image specific for that before, but it's just a rather abstract concept, which is a little difficult to find an image for. So I was just looking for something that was sort of generic Pyre related, that could sort of be recycled for that purpose, but it felt like we had kind of used everything in that regard already. Okay, and Sphera says normal match for the first one, no worries. So yeah, I was fishing for something that we had yet to use for the archetypes that could be Pyre related in some way. As I said, I thought I found one, but it turned out that was the star that had already been used for Titan stars. But I did eventually get one, but unfortunately it was back to the whole Twitch, the UI, or at least the behind the scenes, behind the curtain, when you have to put an image for any of the requests, emotes, those types of things. Twitch has some frustratingly strict restrictions on the file size of those images, and you also have to have, in some cases, very specific dimensions for each of them. They have to be perfect square, they have to be 32 by 32, or no, 28 by 28, 56 by 56, and a third version that is 112 by 112, which sounds like it's not the most difficult of things to do, but the problem is the file size limit is small enough that specifically for that largest of the three sizes, it is oftentimes very likely that your file is going to be too big, and then you're looking at this image going, okay, well, what do? Do I have to completely change the image that I was scouring the Pyre universe to find, or do I need to somehow manufacture a way to make the file a little bit smaller so that it does fit under the limit? And so that's what I was doing right before we started up to, or as we were on the starting soon screen, was just maniacally rewriting over. I basically went into Microsoft Paint, and all the nice, colorful gradients across the new image, instead I just went in with the pencil and just drew over them all in one solid color. So it looks worse than it would have otherwise worked, but instead, well, at least now it does fit under the size limit. So that, you know, that was what I was doing at the 11th hour. Oh, did Nightbot get mad at you for posting a link? Yeah, that might have been it. That's sometimes the requirements that Twitch has vary slightly, randomly from one image slash emote slash request to the next. Sometimes it will automatically, it always has to be a square, the image, but sometimes it would automatically right size the image into those 3 increments that it needs. Other times you have to manually have the 3 copies of that image in the exact dimensions that it needs. So this time it needed the exact dimensions. Wonderful. Paint.net? I'm not familiar with it. It's the name of an image editing software. Oh, did you... Did you do... well, yeah, Nightbot doesn't like links, which is because we get spammed with, unfortunately, a whole bunch of bots. And that's usually the thing that they try to get people with, of course, is to get them to click on dangerous links. So it's for our own good, but it is, well, even for those who are well-intended, sometimes a bit of a pain. But yeah, then the bots started getting smart, and they put a space in between. They do, like, whatever the bad URL is, space.com, and then they'd put in parentheses like, remove the space. And so then I had to get creative with setting up Nightbot and trying to protect us from even the bots who are trying to outsmart the usual Nightbot protections. So it's a bit of an arms race in that way, and unfortunately, I think we may have gotten caught in the crossfire there, Spheris. But anyways, let me know if anyone is interested in getting in today. Ultimately, when it came to that image, I did eventually get it at the size necessary for it to be usable. It just took a lot more time and effort than I would have liked. So, but we're here now. That's in the past. It now works. It's the one that's the little star. Where did I get it from? I think it was from originally the Masteries. The button you click on the squad selection screen that opens up your Masteries. That was one of the few Pyre-related images that we have not used in some way, shape, or form. So I know Spheris is here. I think I saw Lilac earlier as well. Yep. But I don't know if either or both of you are interested in getting in, or if there's anyone else for that matter who would like to get us started today. I mean, as always, I can potentially hop in for a little bit. If people are still taking a little while to pop in. Oh, for what it's worth, yeah, no, that might not be a coincidence. It is Easter, so happy Easter, everyone. There may be people who are busy doing Easter festivities and whatnot. Spheris, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was also very, very sick last night as well, so I feel your pain. I'm feeling a little bit better this morning, but it was rough. Last night I was not feeling good at all. Ultimately, I think I did get I wanted to get a lot of sleep to help make up for that, but probably got just what was ultimately a fairly normal amount of sleep, or at least what is supposed to be a normal amount of sleep, which is probably still more sleep than I usually get. So by my standard, it was still a pretty decent amount of sleep. Would have liked for it to have been more still, but yeah, I feel your pain. Hello, Lilac. How's it going? Woke up at 1 p.m. That was... I don't think I quite went to 1 p.m., but I arguably should have, just to give myself adequate sleep. Slept the whole day intermittently, but didn't feel rest. Yeah, that's the worst, right? Because then you're thinking to yourself, well, I put in the time... I put in the effort to rest, and yet it didn't pay off. But sometimes time is all it takes, right? Just give it another day or two. Painful though it might be. But hopefully, you can recover soon, Spheris. But yeah, Spheris and I are just both feeling a little sick right now. But Lilac, we are still looking for at least one, if not ideally two people to get in on the action. So if you would like to hop in, you're welcome to do so. Perhaps? Spheris has requested a normal match for the first one today, so that is the one thing that well, it's one request, but it's pretty all-encompassing. Alright, Lilac's good for at least a couple. Nice. Let me get you an invite. And let me know if anyone else is interested. As we were just saying, obviously Spheris was saying he is not interested in playing today, but if anyone else would like to be the other player, you're welcome to hop in. Otherwise, I could jump in for a little bit. Invite, I think, should be on its way. For what it's worth, I did restart Steam today, and I did have an update. I don't know if it is something that just came out today. Maybe it was earlier in the week and everyone else has already done it, but just a heads up that people might need to do a Steam update, but it looks like you just got in there, Lilac.
It looks like it's working, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, exactly.
Or wings, or claws, or paws, or
whatever it might be. Alright, well, I'm not seeing anyone else looking to get in here right now, so that means it may end up being me after all. Let me plug in the controller here. You'd think it'd be easy to plug in a USB, but it somehow every time. Three hours later. Well, he's done it. The controller has been plugged in. Alright.
That was the shortest 3 hours of my life.
Well, shortest 3 hours or longest 30 seconds. I leave that up to you to determine. But anyways, I'm in. Lilac is in. We have a request for just a normal match here. If anyone else does want to take my place, I'm happy to just swap out whenever you'd like. So just let me know. You're welcome to take my place, but at least initially here. Looks like it may just be the two of us, so let's, well, it's a normal match, so I guess there isn't too much else for us to do. And I imagine your controls are fine here, Lilac? We could go to the control space, but I doubt, no, we haven't had anyone else on keyboard mouse since you were in last week, I don't think.
I say it's fine.
Okay, which triumvirate would you like to be today, Lilac?
I will remain the Pyre Hearts, also I can't move.
That is because I am tabbed out to type in your name.
I see.
Also, side note, how dare you?
You know me, I'm a little troublemaker.
Perhaps. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think that means that now we should be good to go here.
I bid you welcome, exiles. Welcome.
Iroder can join if we need a player. Well, you're welcome to take my spot after this one, Iroder. I was just saying, I'm basically filling in at the moment.
Try not to let the pressure get to you. True Nightwing, stand ready. Fireheart, stand ready.
Alright, so no requests, or technically a request for a normal match on this one. That's hard, especially with the first match for me, because then it just gives me no context to build a team. If it's a later match, you can at least say, well, I've played this today, so maybe I'll mix it up a little bit and try something new, but very first one?
Just pick the most normal exiles. Like Hedwyn.
Is that... hold on. What is the exact phrasing? Regular match for the first rite is the phrasing. Speedy Orlek in the first spot for Lilac. I went with Ametha. Up top. Go. Yeah. Keep it fairly simple here. Or will we? Who's it gonna be? Yeah, no, it's Tizo.
Tizo.
Leeching Hedwyn in that spot for Lilac. Actually, hold on. Let me check the scouting report real quick. What do you have on this Hedwyn? Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to be sure of. Okay, that does complicate things a bit.
What did you want to be sure of?
Well, you may or may not have taken a mastery that's gonna make things a little trickier for me, but we're just gonna ball. We ball. Or in this case, we orb.
We orb. We orb. I cannot click on anything.
That is strange. Definitely tabbed in. Oh, well that would explain it.
Ah, there we...
Dang it, we orbin. Exactly.
Choose someone.
There we go.
Ooh. Alrighty then. Saluting. Astral Eye Chrome. That's a tough one.
The orb is taken.
Ooh, that's a big plunge. It does, however, mean there's now no Crone. Give me a little more room to maneuver around. And with prayer beads, no problem plunging with Pambitha. Why is it always starting? This is weird. Starting every round with Gareth, not Pambitha. At least 2 in a row it did that. I'm not sure why. No, that wasn't the plan, nor was that the plan. That actually wasn't the plan either.
No, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
the puddle stopped my jump!
Quite the close call.
The puddle stopped my jump!
What?
It cut me off! It legitimately stopped me from scoring there.
Onward thus to greater glory.
What worked my plan?
Cast from afar into the pyre's flame. Banished from this place. A pyre stricken from afar.
You plunge with prayer beads, the second exile. Oh, that's why. You're right. That is why.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And those were definitely the rounds in which I was doing prayer beads plunges. You are definitely correct about that.
The orb sails forth into the flame. Now go on just one oof.
One oof. Indeed. One oof is all it takes. Sometimes. No, I wasn't quick enough with the pass.
Now there's a proper.
That's a proper dowsing. Potentially sudden death match
Pyre
here.
hearts are now favored to prevail.
That's definitely not who I wanted in that situation.
And it
GG.
GG.
Well played.
the true night wings prevail. A victory so narrowly achieved, and thus more glorious.
All right.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well, as I said, well played, Lilac, but I'm mostly just filling in at this point, so I wrote her, if you'd like to take my spot, you're welcome to do so. Sure thing. Awesome. All right, before I invite you, let me unplug the controller just to reduce the likelihood of Steam Remote Play getting mad at us. Then I will send you the invite. Let's see, there you are. Invite on its way. Also, for what it's worth, Lilac, I know that it says True Nightwings under my sigil right there, but what that actually is supposed to say in this circumstance is True Pyre Hearts.
I see.
Oh, speaking of seeing, I don't know if you guys see this, but I was talking with Spheris earlier about how we have Nightbot set up to block most links, specifically to prevent us from getting fished by a bunch of annoying / dangerous bots, and that's exactly what just happened. It did just protect us from that, so that's why it's there. I know it's a pain sometimes, but it is technically in our best interest. Oh, actually, it was 2 in quick succession. Wow. I think we have iRotor in here. Perfect. Let me just set you up, iRotor. And let us know if there's anything request-wise we want for this one. The previous one, we just had both Lilac and me taking whatever we wanted. Oops, that's wrong.
And I would like to change my triumvirate.
Oh, okay.
You are tabbed out.
Okay. Well, I can change your sigil here while I am tabbed out. What will it be?
Okay. The Fate.
The Fate. Okay.
Also, I see you have changed the request archetypes button.
Yes, I was talking about that earlier as
Congrats.
well. Twitch was not playing nice. Twitch made it rather difficult for me to do that, but eventually got a file of multiple files in the right size with small enough file sizes, or right dimensions, small enough file sizes that it actually worked. So, took some effort, but we got there. And I believe that is an image that we have not used for anything else thus far. Alright, so Lilac does in fact go for the archetypes here. Was it you last week, Lilac, who was noting that it was the same as the Titan Stars icon? Because I honestly did not realize that until you said that. Also, you may or may not have just seen the briefest of moments, me showing all the archetypes, but that's okay. You weren't quick enough to see it. The world will never know.
I did see it. I screenshotted it. I'm about to post it in the general chat.
No, I mean, at one point in time, they were secret so that we could, you know, have a little bit of suspense. But at this point, I do think we have seen all of them. The secret now is more so just which one do you happen to roll at any given point in time. Then again, does everyone have an encyclopedic memory and can recall every single archetype that we've seen verbatim?
Yes, definitely.
Alright, well, let's see. So Iroder is player 1 here, so I'll roll for you first. That means you are going to receive this one. And then for Lilac, you are going to receive this one. As always, let me know if either of you have any questions, and for anyone who's new to archetypes, they're basically guidelines, specific criteria for the players to construct their teams, while at the same time still giving them a little bit of flexibility.
It's banned. You can't. I'm assuming you cannot request an arena after getting your.
Oh, this is true. Yes, I think at this point, having given both of you your archetypes, I can no longer accept any arena requests because you could be tilting the scale in your favor. So let's hop in. We'll see where we end up, because that could affect how you two choose to execute here.
The withdrawn shall confront the Pyre Hearts. Welcome.
Alright, so we have Iroder with one archetype,
Who shall conduct
Lilac with another
the
randomly
rites?
rolled archetype. Only they, well, me as well, technically, know what they have received. We'll see how they set up,
Exile.
how they execute once the match starts. That was, what, prayer beads on Zoxiana in the first spot? Iroder was the top.
Hybrid salute.
Okay. And hey, Iroder, how's it going? Lilac. There's Speedy Orlek. Now, Leeching Ignarius for Iroder. Triesta's Plume on Pamitha in the second spot for Lilac. Speedy Vizpaleth for the third and final selection on Iroder's side. Whereas for Lilac, it will be a Luminous Idol Zoxiana. So here we go.
Commence.
Both teams with their randomly rolled archetypes. We do find ourselves in what is one of, if not the smallest arena in the game, and that could favor some archetypes more than others. We'll see how that plays into things here, as, Iroder was about to power up a big throw there, but didn't have enough time to do both Brazen Manor and a fully charged throw, and ultimately ended up getting just 14 out of that, and May have, in fact, been better off just doing a standard throw in that case. Maybe. Would have been able to charge up all the way to at least 30 at that point. Rotor getting aggressive, though, with those Brazen Manners. And with everyone down on Lilac's side, this is what he was looking for. The 40 damage here. Rotor first the orb, but it's blocked. A lot of blocks and banishments, but not a lot of progress for either player yet. Bit of a stalemate in the arena. Middle of the arena, that is. Rotor, though, looking to break through. Sidesteps one of the defenders. And then leaps in for a 30 damage Demon Plunge. Zoxiana does it herself this time. 20 damage for Rotor. But with 31 Pyre life, it means it's just out of range for a standard Demon Plunge for Rotor, but we do know he has, I think, double Brazen Manner here. Is possible, although not straightforward for him to get it done in just this round alone. But with no one back defensively, it's a brief window there, but now we see both of Lilac's harps have returned. One goes down, so does the other. Lilac once again defenseless here. Rotor tries for the Brazen Manner, but again, it just takes a little more time to set that up. Can he get away with it, though? Not on this occasion. Down goes Oralek, and that is a long wait for him to return now. Which may be one of the reasons why Lilac has at times been defenseless, although on this occasion, with both harps able to plunge in for 20. A little more bird power on that occasion. Has the Brazen Manor, switches in, but that was not the Brazen Manor Demon! So Lilac holds on with 1 Pyre life. So you're saying there's a chance. Lilac plunges in for 25 with Oralek. With no prayer beads, he's gone in this round. Up to the harps at the moment, it's just Pamitha, she's down. Lilac defenseless, and anything will do for Rotor. No Brazen Manner necessary. Oh, but he does it anyway. And in doing so, gives Lilac time to get defenders back. Now that's truly, utterly brazen. But then he knocks back the harp, and in doing so, this time, gets the decisive score.
It was as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Well played, you two, and if you would like to share your archetypes, you are welcome to do so.
Until the next rite.
Devilish Demon play.
I got high flyers, emphasize flying and or using big jumps.
Big scores all the way. I mean, it wasn't quite the phrasing, but it's the spirit.
Yeah, that's the idea, exactly. I'm curious to what extent you guys feel like you know the archetypes well enough at this point that you can actually guess / anticipate what it is that your opponent is trying to do, or if there are enough of them / it's hard enough to remember the details of them that isn't really a thing.
I didn't really try this time to figure it out. So it's like hard to answer. I mean, it wasn't immediately obvious at least.
Yeah, because some of them do feel like they're more straightforward, more recognizable than others. Like Spheris was saying, superior stats for Lilac. Did Lilac have any? Lilac went with what? The harp masteries, which might have boosted some stats.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe from that standpoint. Oh, and did you go speed on Oralek? Is that what you had for him? With the talisman, at least?
To try and power up the jumps.
But I could see how that could lead one to think that you were actually prioritizing the stat boosting as your archetype instead. Yeah.
I was just doing it to mess with my opponent's mind.
The secret is, if you don't think, your mind cannot be messed with.
Exactly. I mean, that's in large part one of the reasons, I suppose, for keeping the archetypes secret. Just sending them directly to the player without letting their opponent know.
And no, I won't take any comments where I say this as a withdrawn moment.
Do we have anything we'd like to see for the next one here?
Yes.
Oh? I was going to say, it sounded like you were about to request an arena for the previous match, but it was just too late at the time. Now, Lilac locks in the boat. Anything else we're looking for here, or will that be all?
I'm good.
Spherus is not. Spherus is suddenly feeling rather seasick. But other than that, I think we're good to go here.
The withdrawn shall now face
My beautiful boat.
the fate.
Your
Well
beautiful, wonderful, shipwrecked boat.
the rites.
Speedy Tizo for I wrote her. Yeah, fine to watch, but playing maybe on the boat. Not Spherus' first choice.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the other thing I was going to say is it feels like Lilac will find a way to work Orlek into almost any archetype team. So when Lilac took Orlek first, any chance of guessing Lilac's team's like, well, you really can't tell yet.
It's
This
like
doesn't really
French
say
fries, okay? He's like French fries.
In what way?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I forgot. I did also just add,
Ignarius.
speaking of annoying Twitch UI on the back end, I did just add another, replace one of our emotes that no one ever used and add a new one that I thought could be fun. I don't discard my fries from the mountain.
Messenger imp.
Messenger Imp, or I wrote her.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Wait for it. Oh, you're back. Okay.
There we go. I was waiting for it to kick me.
I was expecting it to kick you as well, yes, but you're back, and we have now triple demons against triple imps on the boat, perhaps the two classes most affected by the boat magic, and we saw a little bit of it there, facilitating that leap from Orlek. He may have been used on Lilac's High Flyers team in the previous match. That was not on the boat, and that is not really in the Pyre. But on the boat here, certainly Orlek qualifies as a High Flyer. They don't call it Air Orlek for nothing. Rotor through the portal does get infinite stamina in doing so. And almost snuck under the defender.
The fate are banished to the last.
Lilac defenseless for the time being. I Rotor
It has gone in.
able to throw this one in uncontested for 25, though Lilac does have a ton of Pyre life from having loaded up on those demon masteries. Portal doesn't take him far, but it does give him that stamina. So still certainly a use case for it here.
Oh,
Ooh, and he doesn't have portals on that imp, so it actually did not move the portal any closer, which might have been his intention. Looked like he did deliberately implode there. But he does have just enough time to make it into the Pyre the old-fashioned route. No portal necessary, or at least, again, with the help of the infinite stamina from that portal, even if it didn't take him very far. This one, much more straightforward for iRotor. We did plunge, and no prayer beads. It does mean he is down one imp here. And that means a little more room for the finger guns. Ignarius' plunge does drop iRotor down to 45, which means this could be a 2-score game, roughly, for Lilac. A quick recovery there from Lilac's Vids. Looked like iRotor might have been too far away to be caught. But on this occasion, everyone down, iRotor is able to throw this one once again in for an uncontested 25 damage score. There's some interesting boat magic, but ultimately doesn't lead to anything, as it's back in iRotor's possession, has the infinite stamina, loops around the defender, and then finds an avenue through for 25 damage plunge. Lilac trying to invoke the boat magic here. Ultimately, nothing comes of it. iRotor with... Where is that portal? Is it in the water? Oh no, it's... Well, now it's back by his fire, but... I feel like he just came straight out of the puddle once he went through the portal. Maybe my eyes were deceiving me.
the withdrawn hunger to prevail.
Magic is advancing.
It may be. Well, now I think this is a 2-score game for either player.
All of the fate.
Lilac is defenseless now. Opportunity for iRotor to change that map.
Flung the orb into the flame.
And now, just about anything would do for him. Not even a full damage score necessary here. Quick throw likely still suffice. He's blocked.
Good.
Blocked again. Lilac here with Vids. She's blocked. Gets caught in that implosion. Ignarius returns, so Lilac no longer defenseless. iRotor changes the angle, moving some players closer to the Pyre, but does lose both imps, but in doing so gets rid of the last of Lilac's characters, and now iRotor gets the winning
The
throw.
withdrawn prevail. They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. One of iRotor's imps looked radioactive. When you have those
Until
He's
green
green
triumvirates.
Raven.
Alright, well
I
let
think
us...
given that the pool at the pit doesn't look any better, I think it's appropriate.
Well, let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, of course, if not, we can always just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they'd like. That is also an option.
Lids. Lids.
Mm-hmm.
I have something.
Okay. I choose everything for both players. Okay. Well, with great power comes great responsibility. But not sure what direction I would go in here. Too much pressure for the straight right spheres? I don't even know. mean, maybe we just see what arena we end up playing at, and that might give me a spark of inspiration. Oh, otherwise I came up with an idea. Okay, I do have a backup plan.
The withdrawn shall take
Oh, okay. It's the
on
Ridge of Gold,
the
which is
best.
just the most basic
Welcome
of all arenas, which definitely doesn't give us the inspiration that I was looking
the
for.
rites.
So, alright, I'm resorting to plan B. I do have a backup plan. Let me see. Oh, this one's gonna be... Okay. This might be a little more difficult to execute than I had hoped it might be. But we're gonna give it a shot.
This is your chancelets. You can show us what you think this game ought to look like.
Don't put that kind of pressure on me, iRotor. I don't need that right now.
Be a visionary.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about, Sparrows. That's definitely not what I was doing. Definitely not what I was doing. Or, you know, triple savage on both sides. What about... Okay. Think for a second. How would I execute on this idea? Think of one thing in particular. This one's a little hard for me to force on iRotor. Oh, here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do.
Talitha,
Okay. Then for Lilac. Lilac will go. Lilac's favorite character.
Sorry, did you give me the salute or not?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Hey, excuse me?
I'm just
Excuse
giving
me?
you your favorite character, that's all.
I don't think that's accurate.
I disagree.
Who wouldn't like Sir Deluge? I mean, such a
I
person
can
does not
name
exist.
several people. I can name several people.
And next for
Are you daring, and I do that to disrespect best-selling author Sir Deluge?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
What if we... Oh, okay. iRotor's gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Good.
Ooh.
Oh no, I'm slow.
That's why you're gonna hate me, yeah. Wait. How much chaos can I instill with this? What's the best way to do? It might be. It might be. Yep, you know what? We're doing it.
exile.
Okay. Then for Lilac here. Let's do. Let's go. Well, I did mess with iRotor a bit by giving him a slow imp. I feel like I can't give you something that's perfectly optimized, so I won't give you Orlek. Instead, I will give you a standard demon. Let's do.
Demon.
Okay. Then last one for iRotor, and this is why I was thinking long and hard about the previous character, because I think we basically set this up. Oh no. We basically set this up. That. And then. I wrote her, I'll let you pick. Do you want critical strike or shoulder smash?
It's your choice, lads. I'm not going to...
All right, have it your way. Have it your way. We'll do something completely different then. I'm sure this is exactly what you wanted me to take. Look, it's gonna make up for not having the extra speed on Raji. And then here.
I know
you
the
know?
salute already does that, so that's actually not that.
We're gonna do this. Who needs shoulder smash when you have Titan Tooth?
Sandra.
Okay.
You have a point.
And for Lilac in the last spot, what do we lack?
Boy.
What do we still need? What about? Oh, you know what? I know exactly what we need. I know exactly what we need. Take your pick.
It's up to you.
There we go. All right. Team selected by Lids for both players. I would like to believe I gave them some somewhat unusual teams to work with, so hopefully that'll spice things up a little bit here as Lilac plunges in for 30 with Vizboleth, but with no prayer beads means Vizboleth is gone here.
Trickery.
Oh, look at that.
Righteous.
Deluge comes back and plunges in for 15. Clearly demonstrating why that is Lilac's favorite character.
I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
Rotor sets up the can singularity, though doesn't really need it, or at least didn't fully embrace it on that occasion. Now that is more the can singularity type of action we're looking for. It's Barker Eternal.
Tis taken.
I realized it was the only thing I could reasonably give Lilac in that spot.
Banished all of them.
Everyone down on Lilac's side, so here's Iroda with a 20 damage throw. There's the auto pass from Right Wisp. Snadra has it here, brings back Tamitha. Tamitha cornered, but somehow finds a way out. Back with Snadra, she'll be the one doing the scoring here. The plunge means she is now gone in this round. Illusion O did not get rid of Lilac's demon there, somewhat surprisingly. When I wrote her, eyeing the can singularity potential there, using it to good effect.
Now end the ceremony. Someone grasp the orb.
And there it is. GG. Well played, you two.
And such a well-conducted victory it was.
So that was a setup for both players
Is complete.
that came from Lids. How did Lids come up with those ideas, you ask yourself?
Until
Well, it
the
was
stars align.
partially just me deliberately giving them some pretty crazy things that I felt like we don't see very often. But I also may or may not have rolled archetypes for both of them.
Ah.
Iroder's was harder to give him because it was more of a thing based on how he plays in the match itself, less on his actual setup, whereas yours, Lilac, was purely just based on the setup, so that was much more straightforward. I am curious if either of you could guess what I rolled for you, though.
I have no idea.
Is Bottle Void its own archetype? Otherwise something with explosions?
What was the first part I wrote her?
Is Bottle Void its own archetype?
It
Otherwise something
is.
with explosions?
It is, but that wasn't what I rolled for you. There are a few things that you could have potentially interpreted your setup as. There's definitely some overlap. So I wasn't originally going in with the plan for it to be Bottled Void, but it just kind of worked, so I rolled with it. I think the most telling thing for your archetype, iRotor, was more so your Saluting Harp. That's the most indicative piece, the most telling piece of your team. And then Lilac, I think the most obvious thing would be the talismans that I gave you. Technically, one of them didn't quite align with what the description would say, but that's the other one. There are a lot of things that it could have looked like for iRotor. One was Bottled Void, one was Chaos, but I believe, let me just double check, the one that I actually rolled for him was Misdirection. Trick your opponent into expecting one thing, then surprising them with something else. So that's where the Saluting Harp came from. And from there, I was like, well, it's really hard to force iRotor's hand on this without letting him know what I'm trying to do. So went with the... Oh, I also gave the auto-passing orb, or rather the auto-passing talisman on that harp to further contribute toward the, well, I don't know, which exile actually is going to have the orb idea. And that's sort of where the... Ultimately, the canned singularity to sacrifice the imp and bring it back with the Sacred Bond Nomad came from.
I see.
Whereas yours, Lilac, was actually the one that Spheris thought you had last time. It was just statistical superiority, stacking the stats. Technically, the place where I deviated from it was it's supposed to be just the stats and not other abilities that sort of mimic the effects of high stats. So I did give you the Mooncrest on Barker, which, if I were being stricter with my interpretation, I would have just boosted his hope even higher. Alright, well, that was Lids picking everything for both players. Let us know if there's anything you guys would like to see for the next one. Of course, if you don't have anything in particular in mind, we can always leave it up to the players.
Does anyone else have an interest in getting in?
Would anyone else like to hop in? I know, Spheris, you were saying you weren't really feeling up to it before, but I mean, if you'd like to, of course, you're still welcome to. Totally understand, though, if you're not feeling great. Oh, Spheris says maybe 2 or 3 games. You up for it? In that case, should we do one more between iRotor and Lilac, or should we make the swap now? Usually we go for one more with the current players just to give them a chance to do whatever it is they may have not yet gotten the chance to do. That gives Spheris a little bit of time to ready up as well. Why don't we go for that? And there are not any requests from chat right now, so I suppose we could just leave it up to you two to go with whatever you want here. Hear the imps. It is the Isle of Kalamer.
The fate. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
We have already seen iRotor use triple imps today. There's always a question you have to ask when you find yourself at the Isle of Kalamer. It does oftentimes compel the players to go that route, even if there isn't a request dictating such. But it won't happen for iRotor. nor will it happen for Lilac, as we have a Harp and a Savage, respectively. Speedy Vizpaleth for iRotor.
Tizo.
Aub's Wing for the infinite stamina on Lilac's Tizo.
Alma.
Beats Almer, the last spot for iRotor. Curving Almer will be Lilac's final choice. So here we go, in what may very well be the last matchup of the day between iRotor and Lilac. Both players just taking their preferred teams, and iRotor getting a banishment, but then getting banished. With his Harp, but then leaps in with his Savage for 20.
Good. The flame
That's a
is
quick
stricken.
Harp throw there. Still good for the full 20 damage, though. Wall of Imps in the middle. Rotor found a way through, and found a way to get another 20 damage Harp throw. This time, though, Toxiana goes down, so here's Lilac with Tizo. Banishes, and gets banished. Almer, Rotor. Tries to loop around with the black magic jump, but can't quite get the trigonometry correct there.
Thoroughly banished.
Then banishes everyone on Lilac's team, and does once again have time for the full 20 damage on his Harp throw. That means one more of those might be all he needs. That could have been the decisive play there, but Lilac got the interception and is now on the attack. And Rotor got the stop and had his Harp hanging out next to the Pyre,
The withdrawn prevail.
plunging in for the
And
win.
what a crushing victory it was.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Well played, you two. Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And just to double check with you, Spheris, are you still good to go for a few matches? Does that work for you? Alright, Spheris is in which case, Lilac, I know you were the one who raised the question in the first place, I suppose, didn't explicitly figure out as to whether you or iRotor were to be the one to leave to make room for Spheris. How are you two doing?
I
I'm
can
good.
play a bit more. But I also don't mind swapping out, so I'm not quite. So, since Lilac asked whether anyone else wants, but it depends. Like Lilac, do you want to play more or not?
I'm good either way.
Alright, admittedly, I was kind of acting on the assumption that Lilac was swapping out because Lilac was the one that raised the question.
I will. I will.
I mean, I'm still here a bit. So
I'm good to stay,
want to
but I
play, like,
was
2 or
thinking of
3.
swapping out.
Alright,
I'm good
well,
to stay, but I was thinking of swapping out.
Yeah, let's swap you out then, Lilac, and if we're still going a little while later, we can potentially get you back in, but let's get Spheris in here. And Spheris was saying earlier he's feeling a little sick right now, so don't want to push Spheris
Hold
to play
on.
for too long. So if Spheris swaps out fairly soon, we could potentially get you right back in.
Excellent.
All right.
Farewell, exiles, and thank you for the matches.
Fare thee well,
Fare thee well.
he says as he kicks Lilac off Mount Elodial. All right. Well, let me get Spheris in. I definitely wasn't just hovering over the remove from remote play button as Lilac was signing off there.
Hello.
Hello, Spheris. Okay. So. iRotor or Spheris? Yeah, if one of you could just confirm who's player 1 and who's player 2 here. It looks like Spheris is player 2. Yeah. I believe. Okay, and let us know, chat, if there is anything that we would like to see between these two. Obviously, iRotor's been playing for a little bit now, but this is Spheris's first match of the day. Okay. So we could be merciful and give Spheris a warm-up. Not seeing any requests at the moment. So let's get started.
The withdrawn shall now face the essence.
Alright, so it's the Nest of Triesta,
Welcome.
with no requests.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So this is all up to the players. Order will go Banishing Throws on Dalbert. And Prayer Beads Gareth from Spheris.
Demon.
Speedy Visbaleth for iRotor. Quick Throwing Pamitha for Spheris. Prayer Beads Almer is iRotor's last choice. And then Exploding Lady River for Spheris.
Commence.
So here we go. Ooh, a stunning claim there from Spheris. Well timed at that. Did have at least a brief moment where we saw Spheris with the only character able to move, setting him up for a defensive play. Oftentimes it seems like we see the stunning claim used for offensive purposes. Well, ultimately, it is still an iRotor score that ends that first round. It's 20 damage from his Cur plunging, but with no prayer beads. Dalbert's gone in this round, but that doesn't matter here, as now he's able to follow that up with a Savage Plunge for another 20 damage. Almer did have prayer beads, so he did return, but at the moment everyone besides Visbaleth had been banished.
Against throwing in the orb.
And Lilac, or rather, Spheris now, I should say, able to throw that one in for 19. There's another stunning claim. Maybe slightly preemptive. Didn't maximize the amount of time Spheris was able to move there with just his exile, but it was still enough to get the job done with Gareth. So the results speak for themselves, and that's a 15 damage throw from iRotor's Cur.
Now to the flame. The orb engulfed.
20 damage plunge from iRotor's Almer.
Without comical.
Bit of a stalemate. Savages canceling each other out in the initial orb race. Spheris somehow weaving a way through iRotor's defense, when seemingly Pamitha was very much surrounded. Another defensive stunning claim there from Spheris.
Orb is taken.
And suddenly iRotor defenseless, but comes back just in time to get the stop there.
The orb is up.
iRotor defenseless again, this time not able to get back in time to stop this throw. 1 score could be sufficient for Iroder. Certainly after this plunge, anything would do. Whereas for Spheris, it would take a little more than that. Iroder scoops up that orb. Nearly does so again, but Spheris had it covered. Ametha blocked here. Iroder gets it back with his saluting savage and jumps in for the winning score. GG.
I do actually like that savage backup of the car, because then you can mind game whether or not you switch to the savage for the second banish. Or if you don't and you just go for it with the car, and if they delay because they expect the savage, you can get it with the car.
So it's all just faking people out with, are you going to use the savage salute? Are you not going to use the savage salute?
Until the next
I mean, you beat the car there probably if you... I mean, on camera, on our... I think you beat it on the car there. But only if you immediately do it.
All
if
right.
you wait, then you don't.
Well, let us know if there's anything else we'd like to see for the next one. That one was just leaving it all up to the players to go with whatever they'd like. Iroder is putting us at the Spring of Jomir. And Lilac is turning Customize off. Some randomized Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance. Just gonna get thrown straight into the action here. That covers just about everything, so why don't we get this one started then?
the withdrawn shall take on.
So for Iroder, it'll be a Cur, a Harp, and an Imp. For Spheris, it is a Worm, a Sap, and a Savage. Other details to be determined.
Withdrawn, thus make them.
No, Iroder has at least the first mastery on the right side, as he did get 20 damage there. Feels like that's a slower Cur. Feel like that might be a predominantly right-sided Dalbert.
A nearly negligible effort.
Throw this one in for 10 damage
Now then,
from Zoxiana. Now here's Spheris with Stowaway. Leaps over one defender, but then gets banished. Spheris does have the Exploding Saplings. Iroder does have the Imp Portals.
a deathly
He has Bright Wisp on his harp. It's just like the match that I set him up with before. We see the slowing effect from Spheris' Savage. Iroder's still able to get through though,
press their luck.
even after being hindered by that. Fell swoop from Zoxiana.
Interesting exchange.
Not enough to break through. Though the Explosive Temper might be. And as I was saying, that further suggests that this is a very right side dominant Cur for Iroder.
Exactly.
I have the return mastery.
Oh, okay. The half and half.
My word.
Fouling it return, but that's not enough to get in the way from that Iroder Cur plunge. Go away,
I
out of
almost
stamina.
pity what transpired there. Oh,
Exploding Sapling gets rid of Dalbert. Spheris now with the Stowaway, but she's blocked.
yes.
And no one back defensively to stop this harp throw, although it's only 18 there, which is potentially significant. I think that means Iroder does not have enough damage here to finish the job in just one round. don't know if we've seen him score with his imp. There's a chance his imp has the extra damage from the left side mastery, although we know that is all the way down on the left side, and he's at least right-sided a little bit, the portals. But after that throw, it's not enough to finish the job, as we were just saying, but now the math does change very much in iRotor's favor here, where any of his characters could have enough damage. Certainly with a plunge. Partial damage throws, it could be close, as we see
I
here.
put that in.
Yeah, that was weird, I don't know.
Ferris lives to see
Oh, I
another
wanted
day.
to throw it,
Plunging
but I
move
didn't
here
want
for
to hit the
15.
Pyre.
Yeah, but you got pushed by me, I guess.
Ferris was getting aggressive with the sap, but didn't quite work out there. iRotor wins the race back to Sferris' Pyre, but Sferris has 10 rekindling from Manly, so still holding on. A huge fell swoop play there from iRotor.
Was almost cruel.
Can't make it through with his curve. It's Deluge for Sferris. Well, I think was looking for the Worm Salute, but didn't appear to have it. And with that hard push, iRotor takes the win.
The withdrawn prevail.
GG.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
Well played, you two.
The ceremony is complete.
All right. Well, let's head on back. And Sferris, how are you doing? I know you had said you might just be up for a couple of matches. You're welcome to stick around if you'd like, but if you feel like you need to swap out, that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah, I'll play 2 more.
Play 2 more? Okay.
Yeah.
Just to get a read from chat, I know we have Lilac who may be able to get back in, but there's a chance that that's all we have for today. Oh, the only people we have for today, what with it being a holiday and all. So, just wondering if... Thinking about the timing of the Liberation Rite and what have you. But Lilac, you would potentially be able to get back in if there isn't anyone else. In which case, it could potentially go even beyond that period with Sferis. Okay, so I guess that means this next match is probably just, well, we can treat it like any other. Let us know if there is anything we would like to see between iRotor and Sferis. Let me turn Customize back on and reset the arena before we forget. Of course, if we don't have any requests, we can just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they'd like. It does seem like that might be the case here, so let's jump back in. Oh.
The withdrawn.
Heard a little bit of water there. I wasn't 100% sure if that meant we were about to go to the boat or the Fall of Solium. It is the Fall of Solium.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Largest arena in the game.
Sap.
It's a quick throwing sap from iRotor. Prayer Beads Pamitha is Sferris' selection. Speedy Tizo for iRotor. Quick throwing Vispaleth is Ferris's choice. Vanishing Throw Dalbert is how Iroda will round out the team. And Exploding Lady River is Ferris's final choice. So here we go. Both players taking their preferred teams for this one.
What happened there?
Vanishing Throws, remember, from Iroda's Dalbert, though Ferris got it back at least for a minute there. It's here with Dalbert once more. I think he caught his own throw. He passed to himself and then plunged in. Just Tizo for Iroda.
Now go.
Now momentarily defenseless, at least until Palmas makes his return, but he slowed, but did not stop. Ferris's demon there. Gets a 30 damage throw. Ferris uses the Harp's Lute to switch into Lady River. I imagine may have preferred to have seen Vispaleth on that occasion.
Into the adversary's flame.
Ametha now swaps into Vispaleth. Threatening to banish with the throw, does get rid of one of the defenders, but there are a couple others who could then scoop up the orb for Iroda and return the favor with a banishing throw of his own.
The flames of
Ultimately,
freedom.
ends with a Cur Plunge in that round for Iroda.
The fate's adversaries may as yet prevail.
Does mean, however, no Dalbert in this round. Ametha for Ferris. Now make that Lady River.
There.
Iroda with Tizo. Sneaks under the defender. Oh. And, you know, might have been a little bit off the mark, but we'll still give it to him.
There. Unfortunate for the
Everyone down on Iroda's side, so opportunity here for Ferris, although unable to throw it, at least until any of Iroda's characters make their return, and Iroda was very quick to blink over and vanish. Vispaleth is back. Iroda's still in possession, though. And able to plunge with Dalbert. It's good for 20, and that means one score may very well be all that Iroda needs here. Ferris, of course, not going down without a fight. We're back in possession, though. Ferris and Iroda playing chase.
The orb is up.
Sets up, had set up safety circle with the sapling, but it didn't quite go according to plan, so Ferris has it back, albeit while being slowed by the numbing gust. And thus sacrifices Vispaleth, but then ends up going down herself. Vispaleth. Now. Almas. Ooh, and a stunning claim there, which again was used more on the defensive side, but it was not enough to stop Iroda from getting the winning plunge.
They vastly outperformed their adversaries.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And if you're still up for another one, Ferris, we can certainly keep you in. which case, let us know if there's anything we'd like to see. That one was both players taking their preferred teams, nothing out of the ordinary on that occasion. We could, of course, keep it that way, but if there is something we'd like, then just let us know. Not seeing anything here, though, so why don't we get the next match started?
The withdrawn versus the
And we're back at the nest.
Welcome.
We've seen it a lot today.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Oh, hold on. One moment. Lilac may be about to request something by the looks of things. Lilac says for exiles, choose one class. All players use all that class. Make the craziest setup possible. So does that mean that iRotor and Spheris, like if iRotor takes a cur, does Spheris need to take all curs as well, or does iRotor's decision only affect himself?
Who is supposed to choose? That's the real question.
Right, if both players need to... It is the same class for both, but you can discuss it. Okay.
Okay, are you up for cars?
No.
No.
I cannot.
Okay. You're not. Okay. So okay, then let's like, what's your preferred class?
I don't know. Triple.
I'm
demon,
betraying
triple
savages.
imp.
I don't want to do triple savage.
Yeah, no, that's just not fun. Triple demon or triple imp or triple nomad, I guess.
I mean, Imp's a classic, but just kind of, and like somewhat conservative, so that's kind of against the crazy part of the big class. Triple demon, I mean, there's only so much you can really do. I mean, they're different stuff, but they're all viable. They're not really crazy. Yeah? But just like the, I mean, you couldn't do like the big banishment, but then I'm not seeing the demon. Triple harp is really fast. Let's do we want triple nomad?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's do triple nomad. I think you can do some fun stuff there. On a different map, Bottle Void would be good. But, okay, I'm kind of interested actually. Maybe not the best map for it, but
Headwind.
Alright, so we've established it is going to be all nomads for both players. Just how much do they deviate from the usual nomad build? Alright, well, it's Scribe Rock on Lendl for the extra aura size.
headwind.
Quick throwing headwind for Spheris. Exploding Snadra is the final choice for Iroder. Bottled Void Blendle for Spheris. So here we go.
Now begin.
Triple Nomad for both players. Some relatively unconventional selections for the setup. In general, it's not all the time that we see Triple Nomad against Triple Nomad, but it has, of course, happened before. Generally speaking, tends to be defined more by the defensive plays.
Your fellow exiles remain
Can
banished.
either players excel so much defensively, maybe banishing all of the opponent's characters, creating some scoring opportunities, or can they get clever offensively, set up some scores that way? As Ferris did plunge for 28, a little more than usual, of course. Iroder answered with 20 on that plunge. Ferris with Snadra. She gets cut off. Edwin can't quite leap over the opposing Nomad. Everyone down on Iroder's side. Opportunity here for Spheris, except dilly-dallied a little bit, bringing back his other Nomads, but might not have been necessary if he was able to get all the way to the opposing Pyre in time. Middle here for Spheris. Down he goes. Spheris still in possession. Snadra throws for 28 with 14 leech, no less. On net, that's actually a quite valuable play. Shoulder smash, of course. Expect to see our fair share of that in this match.
My.
Big implosion there for Iroder, and if he's quick enough, yes, can make it in for 20 damage plus 10 leech, and we may see a lot of leech. Assuming that players have gone all the way down on the left side for what appears to be several of their Nomads. It's a double shoulder smash for you. Everyone down suddenly for Spheris.
Kendall's aim was true.
Oh, and that was a 20 damage throw, but I think that was not Iroder's Leeching Exile, and that means we're tied at 54 apiece. That's a bit of an unusual number to be tied on. I wonder if this has ever happened before. It's one thing to be tied on, obviously 100, but 80 or 75, where both players have maybe taken a single score. By the time you get to 54, that's a pretty unusual number. It takes a pretty strange set of circumstances to get there in the first place. So for that to happen to both players at the same time, a little bit odd. Now, of course, Iroder has now changed that a bit, having plunged once again for 20 damage, but no leech on that one, so he's still sitting on 54, though Spheris down to 34. Smash. Spheris getting rid of the attacker, bringing back Snadra in an attacking position. Now she does 28, and I believe she does have leech.
How very fortunate for the essence.
So you see the difference it can make between just scoring with a standard 20 damage Nomad, maybe even one that doesn't have the leech, versus one that has bonus damage, talisman, and leech. combined, it starts to add up. For example, it drops, after that throw, Spheris down to 28 Pyre Life we've seen. If iRotor does have extra damage coming from a talisman, he may have enough to finish the job here, unless, of course, Spheris can leech just a little bit more with another score, bringing himself out of 1 score range. iRotor, that one's worth 20 damage, plus leech, but it's not enough to take Spheris down, at least not yet. And now, of course, Spheris can still leech, but 1 round of leech may not be statistically significant anymore. Going down on iRotor's side, that means time for 28 damage, 14 leech, and that puts iRotor down to 18, Spheris up to 22. That may be enough leech for that to be significant, and it does drop iRotor into the range where he could go down to just 1 more hit. Oh, shoulder smash from Spheris. iRotor, though, still applying some pressure. Spheris in possession, though, brings back Snadra, who brings back Lendl. Oh, and almost Spheris leapfrogging over the last defender, in for what would likely have been the deciding score, but of course, these are nomads we're talking about. They have shoulder smash. iRotor, once again, the double shoulder smash. That's not enough damage. Spheris still holding on with 2. This is still a sudden death match. Either player could finish it with 1 score. Is it going to be iRotor here? Yes, it is.
The withdrawn prevail.
GG.
I thought for certain they would not.
Well played, you two.
The rite is complete.
Yeah, it can get pretty
I think
crazy
the
with both
presence
players
was
of
the
that much
secret
leech.
MVP here.
The what?
The present.
Yeah, definitely. I thought about presents, but I was like, let's do Battle Void, it's fun as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, Led.
Until the next rite.
All right. Well, I mean, again, Spheris, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, but if you feel like you need to take a break, that's perfectly
Yeah, that's
understandable.
enough for me.
That's it for you?
Yeah.
All
But
right. Well,
Triple Nomad
GG's.
is fun, so that was good.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Get some rest. Hope you start to feel better.
Thanks.
Yes, get well
See ya.
soon.
Yeah.
All right. Now, that does mean we are looking for someone else to jump in here in Spheris' spot. If we have anyone who has yet to play today, then we could certainly get you in here. If not, then Lilac, we may once again be calling your name here. Put me in, coach. All right. Not
Okay, if
seeing...
you're doing this, then put me in as the dissident.
Oh, okay. Let me just get Lilac in. 1 second.
Be right back, bathroom. 1 minute.
Okay. iRotor says he's switching.
Intriguing.
To the dissidents. Alright, Lilac is back. And Lilac, which triumvirate would you like to be?
Well, I can't be dissidents.
I guess not.
I will be Chastity.
Okay. Now, of course, these two were playing against each other earlier today, so this is not the first time we've seen this matchup thus far. But might things get spiced up in a new way this time round? Well, it's different triumvirates for both players, for whatever that's worth. let us know if there's anything request-wise that we would like to see here. iRotor, I believe, is AFK, so I mean, it may or may not be an opportunity to throw something out there. Oh, Spheris says, hold on, just give me a second. Spheris may
Not
be
ominous
cooking.
at all.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Spheris coming in with the talisman request, which is just to block some of the most popular talisman choices. So no Star Splinter, that being the quick throwing talisman, and no prayer beads, the one that allows you to come back in the next round after plunging. Definitely near the top of most players' lists for talismans.
Okay, back.
Alright, the one thing that we got, iRotor, was a talisman request from Spheris to block both Star Splinter and prayer beads.
No problem.
Okay, but that looks like it. So why don't we jump in?
The dissidents versus the chastity. Welcome.
Alright, so we're at the cairn.
Who shall conduct the rites? Teaser.
Thorned, not Tizo. That's how iRotor leads things off. Now, it will be interesting to see what with those two talisman bands, to what extent that leads to the players really mixing things up here. They go in a totally different direction than they would usually go. Or are there substitutes for those talismans that would still allow them to use much of the same team composition that they would usually use? Right? Star Splinter is just... it's really fast. Spheris also the first person to break out the new emote.
Yes.
Like, as soon as I say that, I could tell that Lilac
Yes.
paused to look over and check what it was.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't sure what the best name for it was, but hopefully that is fitting enough. Name is irrelevant. All we need is the image. That's what matters.
Name was the friends we made along the way.
Exactly.
Demon.
Cole Ignarius.
Barker.
Kerfang Barker. Oh. Kerfang Vizpaleth, and that means Lilac has a whole lot of that whole Pyre life thing. Whatever that is. mostly knocks back the defenders with the demon hops, setting up a 30 damage finger gun score. Ooh, but Lilac defenseless here. Opportunity for iRotor if he's quick. And he's just quick enough on that throw to chip away with 30 damage. Now, 30 damage, usually a fairly large increment to deal. But when your opponent has 235 starting Pyre life, it's going to take a while, regardless of how much damage you're doing per score. And Lilac answering with the 30 damage plunge, and of course that math is not going to work out in iRotor's favor, given how much of an advantage Lilac is starting off with. Oh. iRotor was starting to charge up a throw. I didn't realize that he then converted that into a plunge, but he may have noticed partway through. Oh right, I put Curving on this guy. He does more damage when he plunges. Right,
I remember I had Coughing. Maybe I should have picked Astral Eye instead.
Was it Astral Eye?
No, it's Coughing, or maybe I should have picked it.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw you pick up Curving. Okay. You're just trying to mess with me, iRotor. I remembered. Sort of. iRotor is going to need to do more of that, scoring multiple rounds in a row, because if they just keep on trading like this, and again, it's just the nature of the humongous amount of starting Pyre life Lilac had. It's pretty powerful, but iRotor, once again, chipping away with 30 damage there from that demon throw. Will stop at least Lilac's initial attack there, and then gets rid of the remainder of Lilac's characters. Just quick enough to get in with a demon, or rather with an imp plunge, but for context, even after all these scores, only just now are we seeing Lilac deplete, or Lilac's Pyre life getting depleted below what would usually be the starting point. Of course, iRotor did follow that up with another score soon thereafter, and now things are suddenly starting to look a little more even. Seemingly right as iRotor was building up some momentum, oh no, the hockey pucks! They were blocking Lilac for a second there, but with that score, it does now mean iRotor is quite low here. 7 Pyre life, 1 score, almost certainly all that Lilac would need, but Lilac is defenseless. So iRotor throws in for 30, and it's a 1-score game for Lilac, but it's only a 2-score game for iRotor. He's not that far away at this point. And he may have found a way, a formula, to set himself up for what is now a sudden death match.
Come now, someone end this.
Just about anything would do. Partial damage throws included, but with that plunge, it is iRotor who takes the win.
Or you could say they managed to avoid defeat.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know if there is anything we'd like to see for the next one. Lilac is pontificating. Archetypes. With with the new Neeland Leech emote as well. Okay. Let me start rolling. Okay, I'm gonna give one to iRotor first. Oh, one moment while I delete that message and probably give iRotor something completely different, because I may or may not have just posted it in one of the Right Club channels where it theoretically was unlikely to be seen, but could have been seen. So let's give that an attempt number 2 real quick. And then I'll just make sure that, you know, I'm actually DMing iRotor. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me know if either of you have any questions about your archetypes. I can answer via DMs to maintain the secrecy. But why don't we at least load into the arena, see where we end up, and that may influence how you want to set things up.
The dissidents
It's the
shall
book.
now face the chastity.
Okay. Okay.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So both players randomly assigned an archetype here. And it's a quick throwing Palmus in the first spot for iRotor. And it's an extra aura size Volfred in the first spot for Lilac.
Headwind.
Extra aura size on Headwind in the second spot for iRotor. That's illegal. Hold on. You can't do that.
Excuse me?
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Did you just reset the match on me?
You bet I did.
What?
Speedy Manly is not a thing, nor will it ever be the case.
Dissidents shall take on.
It's like you don't respect your history.
Welcome. Who
It's
shall
the first
conduct
Civil War.
the rites? Sap.
Alright, so quick throwing Palmus. First spot for iRotor. I do believe that to be the same thing that he took the first time round. No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There you go. Okay, I think we're in the clear now. Edwin does not want to cooperate with the talismans, but eventually it's Scribe Rock on him, and I do believe that is the same setup for iRotor thus far. There we go, much better. Remember, if you feel like you've already done everything you need to do for the archetype after having taken 2 characters, you could ease up a bit on the archetype in the 3rd spot, but if you want to go all in, of course, you're welcome to do so. As it's a cur for Iroder and a harp for Lilac. And here we go. Both players, remember, with randomly selected archetypes.
Yes.
We shall see how they match up here. And it is Iroder leaping over the auras and in for 20 damage plunge. Iroder locking down the orb with a sapling, and that also means able to get it to his cur to hop in. Iroder placed the sapling on top of the orb and just couldn't be bothered to pick up the orb at this point. Lilac is defenseless, so I suppose in a way that did pay off, although Lilac had the Numbing Gust activate, and that certainly made it difficult for Iroder to capitalize on that opportunity. Oh, look at that. The Nomad Jump plus Sap Shield strategy worked quite effectively there, although took Iroder just long enough. Lilac was able to get some defenders back, but on the second attempt, Iroder able to leap in there with Headwind. Now, once again, it's Iroder going the Cur route. Now, Lilac has dropped down to 20 Pyre Life. Then again, of course, we do see 2 saps on Lilac's side. I believe one of them did not take any rekindling, but that likely means that the other one took most, if not potentially even all of the rekindling. So I very much imagine we will see about 50 coming back with that second Pyre Life from the rekindling. Headwind. Down he goes. Lilac here. Pamitha. Down. So is Headwind, though. That is a speedy Wolfred indeed. On that occasion, dare I say, not speedy enough. Oh, and right as Iroder was about to hop over those saplings, the Numbing Gust activated. But this time, he is able to jump in. Drops Lilac down to 30. Of course, we have seen the rekindling, although I don't think Iroder can get increments of 30 damage. I think he maxes out at 25 per round. Even that would require some involvement from his sap, which thus far I don't think we've seen him use that much going forward. Certainly lots of auras, though. Bit of a maze for either player to try to weave through. Perhaps, though, Lilac has found a way to do just that. Down goes Wolfred. Puts back with Iroder here. Headwind. There's the shield from the sap, but again, 20. Not enough to deplete all of Lilac's Pyre Life here. But with that plunge, now it is.
The dissidents prevail.
GG.
Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame.
Well played, you two.
The rite is done.
Alright, well that was, of course, an Archetypes match. And
the stars align.
if you would like to share your archetypes, you're welcome to do so.
I got denial. Control
I got the
where your
same one.
opponent's
Probably
cannon
mirror
can
match.
let go. No way.
It was, in fact, for only the second time ever, an Archetypes mirror
I had
match.
a suspicion. I had a suspicion, actually.
I was wondering if either of you would catch on.
Though I have to say, for the amount of auras you had, you denied very little. You have to place
This
them
is
a bit
true.
further away from the fire. Otherwise it doesn't do much.
And then when I saw that we rolled the book, knowing, I knew, of course, before either of the players knew what we were about to see. So when I saw that we rolled one of, if not the smallest arenas in the game, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a bit of a squeeze for either player to get any characters through past all of these auras we're likely to see. All right. Well, it's getting late enough that this may very well turn into our penultimate rite here, the last one in which we take any requests before we go into the liberation rite. In which case, if there is anything we would still like to see, this would be our last chance to make that happen. So let us know if we would like to do that. Otherwise, of course, we could always just leave it up to the players to go with whatever they want. That is still an option as well. Oh, was that Archetype's request from Spheris? I thought it was from Lilac last time. Because Lilac dropped all of the emotes. I thought that the emotes were combined with the Archetype's request. I'm realizing that those were actually two separate messages. But Lilac, this time is coming in with the request, and this time, it's a customize off.
With boat.
Oh. Almost missed that part. And by almost missed that part, I mean I did miss that part.
Good thing you didn't.
It's a good thing you said that, otherwise I probably would not have glanced over at chat quickly enough.
The dissidents shall confront the
Alright,
chastity.
well, we have a sap, a cur, and a harp. For Iroder, it is a crone, a cur, and an imp for Lilac. See what they can do with these randomly assigned teams. See how quickly they can figure out what exactly all the details are their setups. Classes are straightforward enough, as Iroder plunges in here for 20, but the masteries and talismans can take a little bit of time to discover. Well, Lilac certainly just discovered there's a crone salute. Ooh, but unfortunately, only 25 damage there. Of course, we've grown somewhat accustomed to seeing 30 damage crones, although that actually is very telling. That means that is all one side of the tree for that crone, all right side of the tree for that crone.
As per the sacred law.
Iroder plunges in for 20 damage score. What's up, Nanad? How's it going? So Lilac speeds through there with a 20 damage cur plunge.
The dissident.
Ooh, some big imp boat magic there, although I'm not necessarily sure that's what Lilac had hoped for on that occasion. Ooh, and Iroder just quick enough on that throw to sneak it past for 15.
The chastity's adversaries gained an edge.
Lilac with Tizo, out of stamina here, and comes up just short of the target. Bertrude for Lilac, backs it up, goes through the portal, which is right next to the Pyre, but still not enough. Oh, I may have just seen something very important for Iroder. It's Lilac in possession. Lilac still with this dangerous portal,
That one almost got through.
still unable to do anything with it. And with that plunge, Iroder resets it. And it means one score at this point potentially could be all that Iroder needs. Not gonna have enough from his cur, that's only 20. But certainly at this point, just about anything would do, barring some unexpected rekindling from a right light talisman on Lilac's side. I don't know if we've seen much in the way of the talismans from Lilac, but there is no right light, there is no Pyre life remaining, and so Iroder is the winner.
Their pyre burns.
There is no
whilst that
war
of
in
their
Ba Sing Se.
adversaries is but ash.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Well played, you two.
Until the stars align.
And I think at this point, it may in fact be time for our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. We'll certainly turn Customize back on, but we will not have any requests from chat for this one. We'll just have both players take their preferred teams to finish things off in style. And we'll go Never to Return Chastity Edition, which does feel like that's one we don't hear very often nowadays. if you both are ready, then let us begin. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot something. What did I forget? The sermon intro? It's supposed to be the special sound effect. Yeah, I forgot the sermon intro. There we go. That's the sound effect we're looking for. Yeah, you got it, Sparrows.
Welcome, exiles. Welcome to the fall of Solium. Here, one of you may walk the path to glory. May further shame befall whomever fails. Dissidents, stand prepared. The chastity, stand ready.
Well, thanks, Nanat. Thanks to
Now we shall get started.
Hey to you, and hey to Odie as well. As I was saying, this will be our final rite of the night, our liberation rite, so no requests from chat for this one. Both players just taking their preferred teams to finish things off in style, and for Iroder, that will be a Prayer Beads Pamitha. She will come back in the next round, even if she is to plunge. It's a Leeching Stowaway in the first spot for Lilac. Typhoon Bottle on a full rekindling Palmus for Iroder. Curfang for the extra plunging damage on Lilac's Ulmer. Iroder's final selection is a quick throwing Vizpaleth. Lilac will take a speedy Bertrude. So alright, here we go, our final rite of the night. Iroder on the left representing the Dissidents, Lilac on the right representing the Chastity. Best of luck to you both.
Rubbish.
And there it
The
is.
dissidents proved their worth.
GG!
They
Well,
surpassed
we're worried
their
about the salute,
adversaries
but I
in the
remember
end.
I had rekindling, so.
Thus
Well
ends
played,
the
you two.
liberation rite.
As we were saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today and everyone who gave us their requests in chat as well. I'm gonna hop out of Discord, but I will catch you guys
Thanks for the ride,
next
and
time.
thanks for hosting.
Catch you later. Alright, let me just make sure. I think I wrote her. Freed himself from Steam Remote Play. Is Lilac also free? No. There we are. Okay. Well, as I was saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rite today and everyone who gave us the requests in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights, and my streaming schedule is Fridays, we're doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, Saturdays, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then obviously Sundays, this, Pyre multiplayer. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch that stuff there as well. Also, at some point, perhaps once Path of Exile 2's next update comes out, we'll probably find a way to work that back into the streaming/video schedule. But if you haven't done so yet already, then of course you can also hit the follow button to get a notification when I go live. Also at LidsVids on Twitter. I post there when I go live as well. But actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is my Discord, which you can join by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'll catch you next time.